Our story takes place in the quaint town of Willow Creek, a place where everyone knows everyone and life moves at a gentle, unhurried pace. Willow Creek was known for its friendly residents and peaceful atmosphere. Neighbors often gathered for barbecues, children played freely in the streets, and the sense of community was strong. One sunny morning, something strange happened that would set the whole town abuzz with curiosity and speculation. Mrs. Periwinkle, known for her delicious blueberry pies, noticed something odd. She had just placed a fresh batch on her windowsill to cool. A few blueberries were missing from her windowsill. At first, she thought she might have miscounted, but she was certain of the number. At first it seemed like a silly thing. Maybe some birds had gotten to them. After all, birds were known to be cheeky around the town. But then, more oddities occurred. It wasn't just the blueberries. Other small, seemingly insignificant items began to disappear. Mr. Johnson reported his newspaper vanished. He was an early riser and always fetched it first thing in the morning. It reappeared later, found in Mrs. Gable's geraniums. How it got there was anyone's guess. Old Mrs. Higgins swore her knitting needles went missing. She had been in the middle of a project and was certain she left them on her chair. They were later found dangling from the community mailbox flag. The townsfolk were baffled. What was going on? Who or what was behind these strange occurrences? The missing items were nothing valuable, but their disappearances were strange. It was as if someone was playing a peculiar game with the residents. The mystery of the missing trinkets had everyone in Willow Creek both puzzled and a little bit amused. It became the talk of the town, with everyone sharing their theories and stories, adding a touch of intrigue to their otherwise peaceful lives. Theories began to spread through Willow Creek like wildfire in a gentle breeze. Some folks blamed mischievous squirrels, while others suspected teenagers playing pranks. Little Timmy, known for his active imagination, claimed it was aliens. However, one theory quickly gained traction: a cat burglar was on the loose.
It has to be Mittens. He's always lurking around.
Indeed, Mittens, a sleek black and white tuxedo cat, was a notorious explorer. He belonged to Miss Clementine, the town librarian, and was often seen darting through gardens and perching on fences. Could this mischievous feline be responsible for the strange disappearances? The idea of a cat burglar, while absurd, was too entertaining to ignore. The residents of the small town couldn't help but be amused by the thought of a feline thief prowling the streets at night. It was a story that brought a smile to everyone's face and added a touch of whimsy to their daily lives. Residents began playfully reenacting the thefts, picturing Mittens as the mastermind. They would gather in gardens and living rooms, laughing and sharing their own exaggerated tales of Mittens' escapades. It became a favorite pastime, a way to bond and share in the collective amusement. They imagined him tiptoeing through gardens, snatching blueberries with his nimble paws, and carrying off newspapers in his mouth, leaving a trail of chaos and amusement in his wake. The image of Mittens as a tiny furry bandit was simply irresistible. Sightings of Mittens became more frequent, or at least more embellished. Every rustle in the bushes or shadow in the alley was attributed to the cunning cat. Neighbors would point and laugh, convinced they had just witnessed another one of Mittens' daring heists. He was spotted scaling fences with a thimble in his mouth, or was it a bottle cap, and dashing through the park, a string of yarn trailing behind him. The stories grew more elaborate with each retelling, each person adding their own creative twist to the legend of Mittens. The line between reality and imagination blurred, and Mittens, the mischievous feline, became a legend. He was no longer just a cat, he was a symbol of the community's shared joy and creativity. Mittens had become a beloved character in the town's folklore, a testament to the power of a good story and the magic of imagination. The mystery, however, took an unexpected turn when Miss Clementine, Mittens' owner, finally put the rumors to rest. She revealed that Mittens wasn't a thief, but a collector. Apparently the feline had a penchant for shiny objects and interesting trinkets. "He's always bringing me his treasures," she explained, chuckling. "Buttons, bottle caps, you name it. He leaves them on my doorstep as gifts." It turned out that Mittens wasn't stealing the items, but merely borrowing them. He would often return them a few days later, leaving them in plain sight, as if returning what he had borrowed. The revelation of Mittens' true motives brought an end to the mystery of the missing trinkets. It turned out that Mittens, the seemingly ordinary house cat, had a secret hobby of collecting shiny and interesting objects from around the neighborhood. Each trinket, carefully selected and brought back to her cozy corner, told a story of its own. The residents of Willow Creek, initially puzzled and then amused by the strange occurrences, were now charmed by the feline's antics. What started as a series of baffling disappearances had transformed into a delightful tale that brought smiles to everyone's faces. The community, once concerned about the missing items, now found joy in the quirky behavior of their furry neighbor.
The entire episode, although brief, had brought the community together. Neighbors who had rarely spoken to each other before were now sharing laughs and stories about Mitten's latest escapades. The park became a gathering spot where people would come to exchange their own encounters with the mischievous cat. They shared stories, laughter, and a touch of mystery, all thanks to a mischievous cat with a penchant for collecting. Each person had a unique tale to tell, whether it was about finding a missing earring in an unexpected place or watching Mittens skillfully navigate her way through the neighborhood.
The tale of Mittens, the cat burglar who wasn't, became a local legend. Children would gather around to hear the story of the clever cat who brought the town together. It was a story that would be passed down through generations, a charming reminder of the unexpected ways in which a community can bond. It served as a gentle reminder that sometimes the most unexpected events can bring people closer. The residents of Willow Creek found a renewed sense of camaraderie and connection, all thanks to a little cat with a big personality. And that even in the quietest of towns, there's always room for a little bit of feline-induced fun. Mittens had not only solved the mystery, but had also woven a tapestry of joy and togetherness that would be remembered for years to come.